け Gimme gimme power 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 今呼び覚ませ何度打ちのめされやっと初ぶ立ち上がれ
Hello everybody, Epic Mewtwo here. Today we are back with another Dokkan battle video, and oh boy do we have quite the interesting video on our hands today. You guys know I love to do these banner comparison videos whenever a banner changes on global, or sometimes when it changes on JP. I always like to do a video talking about my thoughts on both of the banners. Today we have a very controversial option for a choice of a change here on the global versus PHY Beerus banner. I think all of you know what it is, but let's go ahead and get into it. So before we even talk about the actual unit change, let's go ahead and look at the banner's graphic itself. We did have some slight changes in terms of text placement, character placement, stuff like that. Beerus basically stayed in the same spot, but they did move the Dokkan Fest textival, whoa, I'd never spoke that word before, that was pretty cool. Basically just to fit more with the characters, though I will say, you know, as much as I usually don't mind them doing this, because I understand that with the Japanese text and the English text it has to be changed usually, they probably could have just kept it in the same spot this time. It looks a little bit weird over his chest with this whole like empty area, because Dokkan Fest banners look really nice because they have all the characters on the top and the text on the bottom. So I don't know what they were doing on that one, I'm going to be honest with you. But obviously Whis, Goku, and Vegeta's positions changed slightly. I think Vegeta's more so and Goku's more so for the sake of the text at the top, so they could kind of be viewable, right? Because they're kind of higher up here. And then they obviously want to make it so you can see their faces. Whis, I guess, for the sake of the English text, I don't know, that he really didn't need to be either, need to be moved. And obviously Goku and Cooler are changed. Now that is the big thing with this banner. Okay, so if we're taking a look at the banners compared with each other, obviously, you know, I'm sure you've heard it, a bunch of people have been talking about it. Cooler was changed from the Japanese banner. Now here's the thing that's so strange about this banner, right? And I think the people who are complaining about this are everybody who I saw that was gonna do, you know, what they were gonna do on this banner, and that was buy Cooler, right? Because obviously when a new banner comes out, all of the units that aren't the newest units on it are available in the red coin shop. And there was even a bunch of memes about it, that everybody and their mother was going to be buying Cooler who didn't have him yet, or some people who even wanted to dupe or whatnot, and they were just going to skip this banner because obviously the 5th year anniversary banners are next on global. And then they changed them out for SSBK. This is honestly such a weird change. I'm very conflicted on this one. There's a lot of factors that go into this comparison. You guys know that I usually like to give you kind of a which banner is better, you know, overall. And this is really almost impossible to deduce. There are a couple of factors that will maybe sway my opinion here, but it's so interesting because Cooler is not returned on global. And this was the first time that he was going to return. That's why everybody was so excited to buy him in the coin shop, right? Because it's the first time that he returns on JP. And then we also have it when it changes now on global to SSBK. This is the first time that SSBK has returned from his initial global first banner. And both of these units are really good. Like, it's not like they replaced Cooler with a bad unit, right? Sometimes some banners, you know, whether it is global to JP or JP to global, the unit that they get replaced with is either leagues better or leagues crummier. And this time I would say they're about equal, at least in my head they are. Definitely in terms of how hyped they are. And I mean, they both are really good in, you know, everything that they can do, their kit, damage output, all that kind of stuff. So it's really hard to tell you, you know, which banner overall is better here. I'm a little bit partial to Cooler myself, just because, well, I don't have SSBK on JP at the moment, and I also like Cooler. But from a purely objective standpoint, I think this is the first time that we've had 2 banners that are actually equal, which is kind of crazy to think about. Now, do you summon on this banner? That is something that is a little bit harder to say. I know the shorter answer is no, because obviously the 5th year anniversary is literally the next banner. But, of course, they really, really, really want your stones. And Global pulled some shenanigans for this particular banner. This is like the highest level bait. Like, sometimes you don't know if a banner is bait, and it might just kind of happen to become bait. We did a whole podcast on a bait banner, by the way. This is bait, 100%, no doubt in my mind. Unfortunately, we don't have the image for it because I think there is an image in game, but we do have the information in text form here on dbz.space. Don't miss out on the 1 round only step up summon. In step 1, you can use 25 dragon stones to summon 5 characters. In step 2, you can use 30 dragon stones to summon 7 characters. In step 3, you can use 45 stones to summon 10 characters. Which one of them will be a guaranteed featured SSR? One SSR character is guaranteed when performing a multi in step 1 and 2. In this summoning event, you can get 1 Dokkan Festival coin for every 5 stones, and then obviously 10 for multis. So, that's insane. That's literally guaranteed a featured unit on this banner for 100 stones. That's really, really good. Not to mention these other 2 steps. It's still guaranteed SSR. Not guaranteed featured, but still guaranteed SSR. That could have just not been the case for those steps. So that's absolutely insane. And I mean, all of these units on here are really, really good. PHY Beerus probably is the weakest one out of the bunch, but you still have a really good chance to get something good. And I assume when it comes to the banner, right, the first 4, right, are probably the units that you would want to be going for because they're obviously the newest and probably the best. That's like over half. So the chance of you getting something really good as your featured unit in 100 stones is like unheard of. Like, that's like dual Dokkan Fest celebration level. Like, I've never seen pure bait in my entire life than when I've literally gone fishing. Like, this is insane. So, usually when I do these videos, I don't really take into account discounts because I like to sort of take the banners from an objective standpoint that, like, you know, if you're going to use your stones on one or the other, you know, which one do you think is going to be, you know, the better banner, right? And obviously, global is a little bit harder to do sometimes because, you know, you have to calculate discounts in, right? And that doesn't necessarily, you know, take into account the units on the banner. It's just, you know, you're getting more characters for, you know, your buck, more bang for your buck, more bang for your stones in this case, right? But I feel like it's necessary to take into account the step ups in this case, and maybe going forward I will have to do that, but this is just such an outrageous step up that's like unheard of when it comes to Dokkan. And I mean, I understand why they did it. Again, it's to get you to waste your stones. I mean, granted, it's only 100 in the long run, right? Total. So if you're using, or like, I guess just above 100 stones, right? Or no, actually, it does equal out to 100 stones. But like, it's still clearly bait, right? My advice to you on this would be do the discount and then be done. I think even most big JP players that, you know, can kind of give you some wisdom on to, you know, what to summon on when it comes to, you know, the banners that are coming down the pipeline. I think most of us agree that when it comes to discounts, you should always do discounts, right? At least just 1 round on both banner because A, JP never gets discounts, and B, discounts are pretty invaluable when it comes to people who are either free to play or who don't spend a ton of money on this game because, again, you're getting a lot more bang for your buck. So that's what I would recommend doing, to be honest with you. I I think for a definitive who wins this, which banner is better debacle in this case, I think that in terms of purely just featured units, it is equal perfectly, because both of these guys are really, really good. They do different things, right? Their kit is good. Again, we've already established that their damage is really, really good. But I think that Global takes the cake on this one simply because of the discounts, because obviously Beerus' initial banner on JP was literally just a normal Dokkan Fest with nothing like this. Again, it is kind of unfortunate that Beerus came out right before the 5th year anniversary, because obviously not a lot of people are going to summon for him. But, you know, obviously the discount is there to bait you for the 5th year anniversary to use your stones. So that is the definitive conclusion. Thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what your thoughts are on this in the comments section below, because I'm definitely interested to know. People have been talking about this for the last couple days. I don't know when Cooler is going to return on Global now. It'll be interesting to see, you know, when that's the case. It'll be interesting to see if they go ahead and change another Global banner to add him on there, or if they're just going to have him return whenever he comes back next on JP. We will have to see. But thank you guys so much for watching. Much appreciated. I will catch you guys in the next one. Epic 2 out. Peace.